Welcome on the Next Digital Minds podcast. I would like to introduce Smita Negi, Head of Digital Hub India, Country Cluster IT Lead for South Asia. Welcome. And also Jacek Sadowski. And Jacek is Principal Data Scientist, Data Assets Platform AI. And now I just would like to touch the skills, yes, what kind of skills we are looking for and how we can upskilling people later on and who we collaborate with. And is it common or is it kind of all the companies are competing now to how to upskilling people? What would you say in this environment?
So I think we're definitely looking at engineering talent for sure, which is focused on focused on the new age technologies, which is focused on depth in terms of building these strong foundation platforms. Like I said, engineering talent, which is focused on your full stack, DevOps, clouds, AI. We are even talking about quantum. So there are a lot of things, hyperscalers and all we are talking about, right? And all of these ecosystems together will help us to take us to the next step. Having said that, I think it is very, very important the way the technology landscape is changing. It requires us to be constantly agile and yet nimble into learning and upskilling ourselves. That plays a big role in terms of keeping pace with the technology advancement and thereby also ensuring that we are generating value. So upskilling, I think for sure is very important element for us as an organization, for not only from an internal talent perspective, but also when we look at attracting talent, that what is in it, why they should join Bayer, because the opportunity is not to get stuck into a particular area, but to keep shifting, evolving ourselves as well.
Sounds good, but the competing words is also very high. The competitions on the market, and yes, as I know, we collaborate also with some NGOs in this place, which is very innovative way. I would say the Future Colors support us with this upskilling things, but also yes, you would like to add something.
Yes, I just wanted to say that in Bayer. The beauty of working here is being part of this digital hub. Yes, we have more than 300 and we will grow to more than 400 soon people, like-minded people who are working on the very similar problems, very similar tasks, and who can connect to each other and discuss how to solve that. Maybe someone has already solved that and I can learn from him or her. Yeah, and we are learning from our peers and we are learning by doing. We are upskilling ourselves by being in this environment and by solving the actual problems, and that's beautiful. You don't need courses for that, you don't need trainings, etc. Of course they are also available, but you need environment, you need people that can challenge you, you need people that you can work together on the problem and collect all these pieces of knowledge they have in their heads together and create something out of it.
In fact, a very interesting conversation I just was having before coming here. Like as Jacek said, we have around 300 people here. We will engineer smart engineers here and they will be growing up, right? In India, we have around 400. We will be going up to a much higher number. So collectively, if we look at this ecosystem, we are building up very smart set of talent engineers. And one of the things that we are also focused on, and I completely agree, is how do we do this knowledge sharing across the teams, which is not just limited by a location, working together, collaborating together. We have a lot of talent here, we have a lot of talent in India. How do they work and learn among themselves and upskills themselves as well on job trainings, actual use cases on which they work? Because I think there is a huge power by collaborating and fast tracking by something which is already developed. You don't need to reinvent it again. So there is a huge synergy which we have an opportunity to build on it going forward as well.
As I understand, there is kind of the basket of the specialists, of the talents, and then we can exchange within the D-Hubs around the world. Yes, that's really benefits to have it. But you know, I didn't plan it to ask that, but when we speak about the development, when we speak about these really new technologies and the new opportunities, what about the failures? How we can work, because when we talk about the innovations, always we have to take into consideration the failures. Did you have any experience with that? Would you like to share with?
My experience is that people need to accept the fact that we will fail often, and it's best to fail quickly. Yeah? And I have a feeling that engineers already know that and already are somehow, using that in their daily work, especially here in Poland. I can say for Polish engineers. It's more difficult to explain this concept to our, for example, business stakeholders, yes? And we are trying to teach them also as part of the DSO that this failing is not bad. It's better to fail, to learn
but it's
something
always
from
painful, that's
It
why
is,
it's so
I know.
difficult to explain just
Corporate
directly.
But that's
It
how
happens.
the electricity was discovered. When the failures happened, you discovered a spark. So,
Corporate culture is a culture of success by default.
That's
yes,
why
by
it's
definition.
difficult.
And that's why it's difficult, but I have a hope that this engineering organization is bringing that actually to the corporate culture even. This culture of, okay, you can fail, you can, reiterate, iterate and iterate and iterate until you get there. Yeah?
and I agree with that. We will have failures, but it's good and important to fail fast and bounce back up, because without failure you can't really do innovation.
Yeah, that's I think the basic for all scientists. Yes, they have to trust what they are doing, and if they have a failure, okay, they wake up and
we
go
have
forward.
a motto, right? Science for life. That actually kind of ties back to Bayer motto as well. Science for life. So
exactly.
that's a part of the working.
And on the failures, there were several projects that we killed with fellow data scientists, and we are very proud of that. Yes, we are proud that we made it clear and transparent that this project is not a meaningful one, that you don't have necessary data to solve this problem using certain techniques, yes, certain methodology. You need to accept that, yes, maybe focus on something where you can succeed much easier, even if it's not first on your list. Yeah? So failing and making it transparent to others that, okay, you need to fail here to be successful somewhere else is a huge success as well for me.
Thanks for what you said, because we have to really share the voice about that, because everyone is a little bit with distance to the failures, but when we talk about the innovations and exactly what we are doing, searching for some future solutions, the failure is part of that. That's good. Okay, then I would like to come to the a little bit changes and transformation which is ongoing within Bayer to grow up with the new kind of leadership, which is very, very heavy based on the ownership of the fast and decision making. How do you see that? How you can trust, how you can share the ownership to the young talents? You also said we need to upskilling them, but at the same time we have to trust them to make their own decisions. Do you have something to say about that?
Maybe I can start. I think that yes, we are going through a major transformation of a mindset. So where we were a very hierarchical organization, typically that's been a part of our DNA and the workings, we are now focusing on to be empowering people as form of DSO, dynamic shared ownership, right? And for that we need to change first. We need to let go and trust the other person to say, I trust you, let's do this together, which also ties back beautifully to the previous point which you asked. We will fail and it's okay to fail, but we bounce back on it and quickly take on to the right path which we need to, which as you mentioned is important, that it's important to leave the things we're likely to fail or we failed, or reprioritize our effort. So I think empowerment of people is very important. Trusting the people is very important. And in this whole thing, the sense of accountability is going to be the driver for people to really generate value. Because if I feel trusted, I will be more self-driven to bring my best version forward. If I am constantly under scrutiny, I will be in form of a fear, holding myself back, limiting myself back, and maybe not bringing my best version of to what is required.
Beautiful outcome for the modern leadership. Yeah, that's something what we need to go for. Yes,
It's not
to
gonna be
reach the
easy.
point. Yes, it's not easy, and especially when we talk about the trust. You know, the trust. It's so difficult to have this trust, and it's a long way process. Yes, that's why it's something what we really have to put on in front of us. Jacek, what would you like to share about this ownership, agile working, and decision making?
I have a feeling that we've been doing that before it became famous. So already developers, data scientists were working in this agile way. Yes, so we were always iterating a lot. We were always willing to fail, willing to try something out, fail, iterate, etc. Yeah? So on that, we don't feel that much change. The change comes from also creating the similar mindset with our business owners, business stakeholders. Yes, we need to make them part of this mindset, of this framework where we iterate, where we fail, where we try something else. And we are getting there, yes? We can see significant progress with people that start working with us in the work teams, that they are also learning, okay, maybe it's impossible to forecast when you will develop something 1 year from now exactly, yes? Maybe we should just start from implementing that and let's see what we do next. If we fail, we react to that, yes? If it's too difficult, we react to it. And there are different types of projects that we are working on. Some of them are deterministic, so it's just a matter of time before you develop something and you succeed. Yes, and then you make a decision whether you have this time or not. But there are projects where you don't know whether you will succeed or not. You would love to succeed, you would love to do your best to succeed, but you don't know eventually, and you need to, the whole team, with business owners especially, needs to understand that. We are teaching them that, working together, and I think we are transforming them as well a bit toward this direction. And on the ownership, I have a feeling that Polish engineers, even the young ones, have a very strong ownership mindset. Yes, they are really proud of things they do, and they feel the ownership. They are taking this ownership of the products, IT products they are creating, and I'm really proud for them.
You know, and especially when we said we have a purpose. Yes, we have a purpose in Bayer. That's why I think that's the benefits what we can give it, and then the trust. There is a few also tools like mentoring, and because we are talking also about the permanent learning here. Now is a time when we have to permanently learn ourselves, everyone. Yes, and what is the role of mentoring within Bayer, within this new technology environment?
I've been exposed a lot recently to somehow mentoring and teaching our business leaders about AI. And I can see the progress they make in understanding things. Because, for example, AI is a buzzword. Yeah? You hear it everywhere, but if you are not into this field, you don't really understand what it means. What are the repercussions? What are the technical nuances that should lead you to certain approach to developing AI, for example, whether to do it internally or externally, and why? Like every external vendor will try to sell you AI solutions, but maybe there is a technical reason to do it internally. Maybe you can create reusable components that multiple agents, AI agents, can use when they will be performing tasks. And once you build this component, you can reuse it over and over again, and you can eventually, with enough tools, get to the situation where you are building the agents really quickly, in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, not in months, but weeks. Yeah? So from this perspective, bringing this understanding to everyone, like business as well as the engineers, is very important. And I see a huge mentoring role here of us engineers mentoring our colleagues in business. But of course there is this reverse mentoring as well, and I see that there is a huge benefit of business people talking to us about like what problems we need to solve. Yes, what is the business essence of the products we are building. And that's another dimension. And the third dimension, of course, is between us, within engineering organization. And in here, I am a type of person who likes to have a hands-on exposure to things. Yes, we have several advanced analytics and AI programs that we are running, and I'm in all of them. I'm there challenging my colleagues on what methods do they use, what architecture they create, etc., etc. And for me, mentoring is challenging them, is talking to them about the solutions they propose and trying to get best out of it. And if I propose something, to create the environment in which they challenge me as well. Yeah? So this constant discussion on what is best for the organization is mentoring for me.
And have you been successful with these trainings for the leaders, for the business
actually,
leaders?
I'm so surprised. I was very successful. Recently, I've been talking to Consumer Health LT, which is a very important body, I would say, in the organization. And they were really...
I just would like to say, because maybe not everyone understands what is the consumer health, but the consumer health is this department when we have the most famous aspirin and no prescription drugs. Yes, Deco-Flora aspirin, and that's for the... So that's why everyone recognizes us for that, but not everyone recognizes us as a technology company.
Exactly, and I needed to explain to this, let's say, aspirin-focused, brand-focused people what is an AI agent, yes, how it works, what you need to build in terms of IT foundations to be able to create this ecosystem of agents that will be helping brand managers to develop the brand. Yeah? And it was a very successful session, I must say. For example, one of them happened here in Digital Hub when they were visiting, and instead of an hour that was initially planned, we talked for 2. There were a lot of questions and they were really curious to learn. So yeah, that's working well.
Yeah, thank you. If you would like to say the 3 words, what is the AI in our life?
In 3 words, it's impossible.
Everything is possible now.
So I would say it's the way, like maybe AI it's too general. I would maybe focus on AI agent. So AI agent is a concept where you have a piece of software that is using a large language model to reason and to find the tools that are necessary to solve a problem, a goal that this agent is provided in the agent prompt to answer some kind of
3 words.
No, impossible, I told you. 3 sentences maybe. To solve a problem, yeah, that is provided by the user and the goal that is provided in agent's prompt, using the tools, yes, and using the LLM. So it's a connection of all of that. And this agent...
Thank you. My eyes going like that when I'm listening that.
You need 2 hours.
That's a technical truly at heart.
Yes, exactly. And Smita, how do you see this mentoring, coaching? I know it's close to your heart, the diversity, inclusion, and also developing people, and in this very dedicated and special area.
I think whatever my colleague said, I completely agree. I think it's mentoring, coaching is all about being open to learning, right? And these are very critical aspects where you learn from business and vice versa happens with business, with IT as well. And this applies not only in a business engagement, it is also across location, across different diverse conversations that we have. In fact, for me, I think it's also a learning between pharma and consumer health. Now, pharma being a prescription-based area versus consumer health, which is a non-prescription based area, I think there is a huge opportunity to even learn from that, which can be business triggering environment. And technology and IT plays a big role in terms of saying that how we can create an impact. I was having a conversation with a crop science leader recently, and the conversation around with him was, his perspective was, tell me how we can be profitable, right? And we were trying to focus on, we will tell you how you can become smart and efficient, because when we enable them to do what can be done, they will excel in their space. And when we hear from them how they can be profitable, we can become efficient in the way we are developing our code and creating solutions. So I think it's a two-way street.
And it's a beautiful connection between business and the solutions with the technology. What you said.
It's a very important piece, and I think when we go together is when we can take everybody together. We cannot be a single man, woman army and try to take it. It's a complete teamwork all the time. And that's how we create value.
And I think my last question would be again about this collaboration between India and Poland, and because now we've spoken about the trainings, about the workshops and mentoring. Is this basket, can we go for the trainings to India and the Indian engineers comes to Poland? Do we have this special tool for that? Or we are on the place to develop?
I think it's a mixed bag, because Poland has been set up almost 3 years back. So the maturity curve of what they established, all the processes and everything is quite there. For India, we just started it last year. Though the presence in India as a market has been 125 years old. We are, it's a huge footprint of 13,000 employees there. But the setting up of the whole digital hub setup, it's new in its own way, and there is a lot of learning which we are talking about sharing from our team here, which we will look at adopting in India, as well as cross-pollination, because the diversity that we have there in terms of being present there, as well as the business being there and the engineering talent being there, and the talent we have here in the Polish market, they are going to be a huge opportunity for creating that acceleration. So we are talking about leveraging Grow to D-Hub forums, we're talking about internship program, we're talking about even rotation program, mobility programs, which will give people from both the location an opportunity to exchange ideas and thoughts. We were also discussing on creating forums where our high potential people across the two locations can come together, challenge each other, ideate, together, find solutions together. So there is a huge opportunity. It's not completely formed, but we have started our work there. So I'm really excited that we will.
Wow, thank you. It's really exciting. I'm going to start to be talent, okay? I will do my best. And maybe we will meet in the future. We just said before our meeting, it is true we will be here within the 10 years time, the similar conversation, or AI will make us visible and do it without us.
It
Promise?
can very well be that.
I hope we still will be needed somehow.
Okay, then let's stay with that. Thanks a lot for your conversation. Smita, Jacek, thank you, and I hope we will meet physically next time in the next chapter, and we have a hope we will be needed. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.